Hey guys, welcome back to MLG. I am Artosis, and next to me is our wonderful observer, Adebisi. He has been doing a great job, and you know what? He's actually a caster too, a very good one. So we will be casting together for this match, which is going to be DRG against Ganzi, a very important match.
Oh, yeah.
JP is going to be taking over your station. I hope he doesn't mess up.
Big shoes to fill.
It actually is. You're a very good observer, aren't you?
You want to toot my own horn too much?
Yeah, well, I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go ahead and go over where the tournament is at right now because, of course, JP, the fill-in observer, said that Parting was in second, but actually it turns out he's in fourth. Thank you to Liquipedia from JP. All right, so in first place we have Marine King. He's in the bracket no matter what. We don't know where he is, but he's 4-1. He's winning the tournament so far. Violet is actually in second place now at 4-2. And then we have DRG tied with him at the second, 3-2. And then we have three people at 3-3. Well, I think DRG's actually 4-2. That's my guess why he would actually be ties.
No, I think he's 3-2 still, but
okay,
he's only
so he's
played
actually
5
gonna be
matches.
Okay, DRG is in third place right
third,
now.
Yeah.
The Parting, Hart, and MC are all tied at 3-3. Then we have Ganzi now at 2-3, and Huck down at 1-6. Unfortunately, it says that Huck is out of the tournament. So there you have it. There's a little update for y'all. Anyways, the players are waiting. Are you ready, Adebisi?
I am ready, Artosis.
All right, let's do it, man. This is going to be a fun match. Shakuras Plateau is the first map. TVZ on Shakuras Plateau. I think I've seen this about 1,000,000 times.
Blast from the past.
What? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you. First off, who do you think will take the match?
I got to go with Dongraegu here. Just got to give it to him.
And will we see 2 racks or will we see Reactor to Hellion opening?
I'm going to say we'll see a 2 racks. Players have mostly been in 2 racks on this map. And the thing is, Reactor Hellion's so much better on the rest of the map pool that why not use that build here?
I have to agree with you, Adebisi. Well, you know what? Why don't you introduce our players for us?
Alrighty. Well, in the top right-hand corner, we have got the red Zerg player, MVP Dongraegu. And then in cross spawn locations, spawning in the bottom left, we have got Complexities Ganzi.
No, not really. I actually really like Ganzi. He's a good player. But, you know, this is a super important match for him because he's sitting down very low in 7th place. And he had a really strong tournament yesterday, and he was pretty strong earlier this morning, but now he's really fallen down. So very, very important game for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is 2-3 right now, so he needs this big time if he wants to stay in the running, really increase his chances to make it into the top 6.
Now, here's the sad part about it, because actually I really like Ganzi as a player, and actually he's a nice guy too. I like him like that. But you know, in our predictions this morning as to who would fall down, I was saying, you know, the loser of MC Huck, well, Huck's already going down, and then I said one of these Terrans is going to fall off tonight. And Ganzi has so far, so that's my chance at eternal glory, at fame.
I hope you achieve it.
I hope so too, man. It's my only goal. Well, it is a 2 barracks at Adebisi. You are so smart. And all right, what do you think? Is it going to be just a 2 barracks pressure, or is he going to try the select build where you make 3 bunkers suddenly and Zerg is like, oh.
You know, I think he may pull some extra SCVs and try it, but Dongraegu is the kind of player who is always so meticulous about, you see, he scouts this out, and then seeing that on this map, you just got to have drones at your low ground at the hatchery to block those block those bunkers from going down. So he may try, but I just can't see him pulling off that against Dongraegu.
Yeah, it is hard to imagine those 3 bunkers getting up. And of course, if he has like a bunch of drones that are just a second too late, sometimes you can actually kill off a bunker before it even finishes. And if you try for that build and it does not work, you are really far behind. So it's kind of a
yeah.
I don't want to call it all in, but it's a risky one.
I mean, often when you do that, you end up even delaying your orbital command to get those bunkers up faster. And when you don't have mules, I mean, mules are pretty good.
Yeah, mules are pretty good indeed. They provide a lot of minerals. Well, he's going to start at least 1 bunker here. Another SCV coming up. Will he start a second? No, he's going to use that just for some harassment.
And Dongraegu's answer here, just throwing down a spine crawler immediately and still making his 2 queens and just starting to engage with the really minimal amount of drones.
Well, he has lost one drone already and turned around just in time. Now he's got to be careful about this bunker. It is over halfway done, but yeah, that spine crawler very quickly is quite helpful. 6 Zerglings on the way. Oh man, look at that surround. And I mean, Ganzi is in some trouble here. Even though he finishes the bunker, a lot of damage being dealt, chasing the SCVs off, and the spine's going to finish.
Yeah, and just to survey the situation here, we got Dongraegu with 15 drones against 19 now SCVs. So, you know, obviously he cut a lot of drones, but now he's got his both queens out, so he's really going to be able to surge forward and get his drone count back up there.
Yeah, not just that. He doesn't have to make any more Zerglings. He can just sit behind a spine crawler for days. But I gotta, that makes me bring something else up here. You know, an old strategy that actually has come up again recently is that people have, just recently we saw someone do this where they make the command center, then a couple more racks or even 3 more racks and just make Marines nonstop, not show it, and then just go and walk over the Zerg who thinks that they're safe. Do you think that's something we might see here, and do you think it's good?
Yeah, I think that's a solid way to go. I think actually though what we may see and what is gaining popularity as a follow-up to this is a 2-factory Blue Flame Hellions with your Marines. And that way, if they just are relying on Zerglings, they don't do well against Blue Flame Hellions.
No, not so well at all. And in fact, you know what I really like about that style is when you get over near their ramp, I mean, even though they have a spine crawler there, that small area, they can't even get a surround on you. So the Hellions and Marines just slaughter everything. Oh my God, he's actually, okay, this is a cool strategy by Ganzi, sending a lot of SCVs, and he made Marines non-stop. So this is actually gonna have a lot more power than DRG is expecting. He is making another spine crawler, and in fact, another command center at home for Ganzi.
Oh wow, and we've got a couple drones in production here, so this is going to be tight here. If those Marines can get up there and maybe even just run by the spine crawlers, this could be really bad.
Oh, and he's not going for that. He surrounds the spine crawler, and he's actually dealing a ton of damage. All the drones come out. 1 queen goes down. Another spine crawler finishing up, and of course, this is a lot of damage against Ganzi. DRG with a strong hold.
Yeah, DRG's looking good, and behind this, he actually still hasn't taken his gas. He's just gone ahead and made a macro hatchery here, so once again, he should be able to just drone back up. But of course, as you pointed out, with that 3rd command center, Ganzi's, even though, you know, usually when you pull 15 SCVs to attack, you don't have too good of an economy behind it, but he certainly does here.
Yeah, and this is actually really interesting. First off, we just caught that cancel on the hatchery. He decided, I have almost no minerals, and he canceled it, and bam, 7 drones instantly. So he realizes that, yeah, a long-term solution is a macro hatchery, but right this moment, he needs to get his economy back online, back on track, ahead of the Terran player. So I love to see that, and yeah, that's all I have to say about that out of BC.
Well, let me ask you this then. We've got double gas up for Ganzi here, but no add-ons on his barracks and no additional tech. So what kind of transition do you think we're looking at here?
You know, I would not be too surprised to see that double factory still. I know it's late now, but everything for DRG should have been delayed a little bit. But, well, saying that, he did just start his lair. Another barracks and a factory going up. So it looks like it's going to be much more standard the way he progresses. You're not going to add another racks and go 2 facts. So just a single factory going up, and I'm sure it'll go right into starport now.
Yeah, and I think that's smart. You know, on this map, it's, you know, you can just sit in that middle and really force out the long macro game. And why not do that? Why insist on going for a timing on this map, especially with the 3rd command center to really give you that extra oomph in your economy?
Oh, definitely. I mean, how many games have we seen on Shakuras Plateau where the Terran is just about maxing out, Zerg is going for Broodlords, and, you know, the 3-centimeter push across the map occurs in which Zerg has a very hard time holding on. In fact, we've seen DRG lose the Blizzard Cup Finals to exactly that.
And yeah, Ganzi definitely playing for the long game here. Double engineering bay, and this is just textbook. You know, you just get ahead in upgrades, and we've only got 1 evolution chamber here for Dongraegu. So if he just sits back and only upgrades, you know, out of 1 Evo chamber, he's really going to fall behind quickly.
That's right. And by the way, DRG actually is adding a lot of Lings right now with a Baneling Nest, making the Spire as well. And I gotta wonder what his plan is here. I think he's might end up doing a little Baneling bust. You know, he has map control. Ganzi doesn't know what he's doing. And Ganzi doesn't have any upgrades on his Marines. He doesn't have the combat shields. He doesn't have stim. And of course, when that's the case, he doesn't want to lose any Lings if he wants to do this. But when that's the case, and also no bunkers, he can bust through there pretty easily right now.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, Stim only just now getting started, Combat Shield a long way off, but, you know, he's got his own Baneling speed and Carapace upgrades to wait for as well, so possibly we may see him just mass up and play more of a unit-heavy style, and then when his opponent moves out to take that third, that's when you just really move in and try and flank and crush them from all directions.
Exactly. You actually just nailed it. You know, the Baneling speed really does give that away, that he wants to just do an army crush. And if Terran tries to hit another, some sort of mid-game timing, then he's going to slaughter him off. But as we see with the double engineering bay, it's not certain that that will occur.
Yeah, I think he'll be content to play passively. He does have his first Medivacs popping out now, so that's where it's going to be all about scouting good Overlord positioning, because I do think we will see some Medivacs getting sent out to drop. And actually, look at that in the bottom right-hand corner for the third base of Dongraegu here, actually taking this base, but instantly a Marine scouts that.
Yeah, very good scouting by Ganzi. Now, he is going to go ahead and take his third base finally while he's moving out with this drop, but the drop is actually scaring me for him because with 9 meters coming out, Baneling speed done, +1 Carapace will be done before the drop. I mean, this drop has no chance to do anything. This is actually lucky that he's passing by this Overlord because it might get him to turn around.
We'll see. It looks like he's still actually going for it here, and the mutas are getting ready to intercept. And if you just feed your opponent 20 supply worth of units, it really sets you back.
Yeah, he is going to be in trouble. In fact, he's up by 15 supply right now, so he is going to get way far behind here. Ling's coming in with the Mutalisks, and this drop has been an utter failure.
Yeah, that is not what he needed at all. And Dongraegu, I love how, now this is where he may get some value. If he can, you know, force this base to cancel. Remember, this is not the fourth, this is the third.
Oh, God.
So he really needs that saturation. But I do want to just comment, I love how Dongraegu played that. He didn't immediately send his mutas. He waited for those Medivacs to really commit and then just crushed it.
Well, right now he's going to go ahead, kill this Hatcher off. No chance for it to live, but DRG may be able to just catch him. Instead, DRG just saw across the map some SCVs go up, so he's going to go ahead and take out the third base of Ganzi, and we're going to be at 2 base against 2 base still, which actually, of course, is going to favor our Terran player, who, by the way, is already getting 2-2.
Yeah, that 2-2 is what's really going to provide value. Just getting ahead in those upgrades. As long as he doesn't lose the Orbital, which he really shouldn't, then he's going to be A-okay. Combat Shield still not complete here, so engaging is a little bit tricky. And once again, actually, looks like he did force a cancel on that third base. So Dongraegu now trying to take the pocket expansion near his main.
Oh, man, and Ganzi just saved this command center, I think, and the mutas flew in to try to take everything out. It did not end up working, and he lost a lot of lings and a lot of mutas. At this point, DRG is in huge, huge trouble. Oh, my God, he only has 5 mutas left. DRG has almost nothing going on for him in comparison to Ganzi.
Yeah, that's really bad, especially given the fact he's still only working off of 4 geysers. You know, only 4 geysers, you're trying to get upgrades, you're trying to continue on some kind of hive-tech progression, and he has to remake these mutas now. Makes it very difficult. Now, one thing that Ganji's doing that's really interesting to me is that the typical Terran player would say this is a great map for tanks, but he's just not getting any. What are your thoughts there?
Well, tanks would be great, but with the flow this game has had, sitting on 2 base for so long, those siege tanks are going to be unbelievably hard to get. And I actually really appreciate that he's using his gas specifically on a lot of Medivacs and Marine upgrades. They're about to hit 2-2. He's kept DRG on 2 bases. I mean, this is a wonderful situation for him.
Yeah, no, these Medivacs do look like they'll get picked up, but, I mean, just delaying those bases. His third is now up and saturated. He's getting turrets there. I love that bunker positioning, too. Really hard to get a lot of surface area there. So his economy, and instantly +3 attack gets going, and +3 attack on Marines is just a pretty good upgrade.
Oh, I think it's all right. Okay. You know, I'm looking at DRG here and what his options are. He continues to make Banelings. He continues to make Lings, and he's actually upgrading +2 to Mutalisk attack. So I think he's going to stay layer for this entire game unless he kills a lot of Ganji stuff and the game resets to somewhere where he's slightly ahead.
Ooh, it looks like 1 Medivac getting caught in the south of the map, but those 2 in the north will be heading towards the main here, so definitely a possibility for a lot of damage. But Dongraegu on the case once again. Zergling's here, ready to go.
And he's dropping some on the low ground. Of course, with those 2-2 upgrades, it's going to be hard even for the mutas to come in and help to clean this up. A very annoying little push here by Ganji. And, well, I mean, look at that. That's not something that he can really engage right now.
Nope.
Nope, indeed.
Nope.
No way. He's going to leave it, which, I mean, and that's going to be something dangerous for a long time to come. He may even want to go ahead and throw down a spine crawler over there to kind of zone that stuff out. So we do see DRG moving across the map right now. He's trying to figure out some way to get his comeback going. He is getting +2 melee, but he's going to be down 3 upgrades total very soon, which is just a terrible place to be at as Zerg. You know, you have to keep up on those upgrades, and it's not something he's been able to do. You're supposed to keep up on bases. That's not something he's been able to do. You're supposed to keep your mutas alive if you have to stay layer tech for a long time, and that's something he has not been able to do.
Yep, and I mean, you look at the production tab on Ganji's side, 2 command centers. He just added a 2nd factory. He's getting siege mode, so he's really stepping it up, and he's going to have a beastly economy. And these Marines, you know, he's not doing devastating damage, but he's just kind of keeping his opponent pinned back. You know, months ago, we would have seen a Terran player who needs to make turrets all over the place, who's really paranoid about the muta harass. But with this kind of aggression, that's not even an issue.
Yeah, that's so very true. And in fact, you know, if DRG had had that 3rd base up for any amount of time, I think by now he would have realized, oh, I kind of need infestors here. You know, the infestors would be absolutely powerful against how Ganji is playing right now. But Ganji now moving out with a pretty big push off of 3 bases. He's at 171 supply to 160 of DRG. And the placement of all Ganji's units. Look at this, at the 3rd base of Zerg right now. Notice that high ground with all the Marines. Beautiful job right there. Lings, Banelings, they can't roll past there because the Marines will get pot shots. The mutas, they can't engage because these are 3-2 Marines.
Yeah, trying to fight those with, I mean, the mutas are +2, that's great and all, but still, 2-0 mutas against those +3 Marines, not a good trade here.
Yeah, only 10 mutas even out on the map. That's how good Ganji's aggression has actually been this game. But don't forget, there's a ton of Banelings out, so he can clean up everything that isn't on the high ground there most likely, but still that 3rd base in trouble. Looks like he wants to go for a base trade scenario instead. I like this choice. Engaging that army would have been a very foolhardy thing to do, and we'll have to see if he can actually get something done here.
Oh, wow, the wall is up, tanks behind it though. This is going to cost him a lot of Banelings.
Oh man, is it ever. Targeting down Banelings as best he can. Ganji doing a lot of damage. The Banelings killing off a lot of SCVs here, but beautiful spreads up top. And wow, I mean, DRG's counterattack is almost dealt with already.
And that just puts Ganji in a solid supply lead, up about 20 supply here, down 10 workers. So he's got a solid 30 supply lead just in standing army, the upgrade advantage. And Dongraegu, he just doesn't have a transition in sight. He's just stuck on mutas. And I mean, when you invest in that +2 attack upgrade, you want to have like a ball of 25 mutas. Right now, 13, that is just not going to cut it.
No, that's not enough to even take out a couple missile turrets and Marines. I mean, that is, it's just an inefficient number at this point. It's good for cleaning up drops, but that's about it. And Ganji is starting the real pushes, where with just this layer tech, just Lings and Banelings and a few mutas, he's going to be so hard-pressed to actually clean up anything Ganji does as long as he's careful.
Yeah, and Ganji also taking the time here to get building armor upgrades. He just finished the turret range upgrade, and that just, you know, when your opponent's trapped on muta like this, then all those upgrades just help put everything in your advantage, and that pocket expansion going down knocks Dongraegu back down to 3 bases. If you can call it 3 bases, that's his main and natural basically mined out here.
And in the meantime, I mean, Ganji has another base, and look at that. That's a big drop incoming.
Ooh.
Look, oh my God, that's like the doom drop of all time. And I mean, he's going to be able to easily push this base, and not just push this base, but also kill the next one. We do see DRG coming in to clean up those units on the low ground. Oh God, everything is going wrong for DRG right now, and he's going to lose his 3rd, and that's his last mining base.
I mean, how do you engage up that ramp? Dongraegu not wasting any time. Knows he needs to try and engage this, but there are just so many Marines, and Ganji wasting no time to split them up beautifully.
And there you go, GG. Not surprised to see that. Ganji with some pretty stellar play, but the first question I have for you out of BC is, how was JP's observing?
It was good. It was quite good. I was a little bit worried for him, but he's got big feet. He filled my shoes fine.
He does have gigantic feet. They're like size 14 or something.
Gotta like mail order those, I think.
I think he does, man. Oh, that made me think of a funny joke. I'm not going to do it now. But anyways, let's ask Grubby and Sheth. Guys, what did you think of that game? And Ganji's actually a really good play.
Well, it was just amazing. Ganzi, at the beginning, I was like, okay, this is really bad. This is scary. He has to make a decision here, either command center or 4-axe and go, or even just pull SUVs and go. And he delayed and he delayed. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. This is weird. I've never really dealt with this. and then he pulled the SCVs, and Greg was like,
Because we were looking at the resource pile-up for Ganzi. He was getting close to like 300 minerals and then close to 400. So it looked like after that little bit of a botched bunker attempt in the start that he would do something like just 3 CC and macro up and so on. But suddenly he pulls 10 SCVs and then Shet is like, oh, okay, he's going to go like all in. And I'm like, yeah, but why does he still have all that money? He's going to make a 3rd CC. And Shet is like, yeah, but that makes no sense. And it's just kind of inefficient. And it seemed like that, but was it a weird decision or just a really advanced decision?
Yeah, right? Because, I mean, he has to do some amount of damage with those SCVs and Marines. And actually, they weren't that good. But he was able to refill his economy, like, instantly.
Yeah, because I think they both lost like 10 workers.
Yeah, exactly.
And then after that, he was on 3 CC, and it looked so all in that Dongraegu thought. Seth was just telling me this. I'm not taking credit for it. It looked like Dongraegu was so far ahead that he thought all I need to do now is play it safe. But actually, 3 CCs, 3 SCV production, and then mules. He came back so hard with his macro.
And he really played for the long game there, too. I really need Shet's opinion on this one thing. He canceled the macro hatch for minerals and then made a ton of drones. Was that him playing safe? Or do you think that idea was actually a good one?
The idea to cancel it was a good one just because he wouldn't die. And I think that was all he was worried about was like, okay, this is all in. As long as I hold, I'm fine. He didn't die. And then when he held, there was actually a time when he was up 40 drones or so to 24 SCVs. And I thought, okay, for sure.
But how many mules were there?
Yeah,
3.
that's the thing. There
were
like 10
3
of them.
mules.
It was crazy.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. You backup nerds, you're the best. Out of BC, are you ready for game number 2?
Yeah, man. Game number 2 on Metropolis.
An important one for Ganzi. He needs this win so badly. He's 2-3 right now. If he can go 3-3, then there's going to be... Actually, if he goes up to 3-3, then DRG, Heart, Parting, MC, and Ganji are all 3-3. That's craziness.
That is wild.
That's madness.
And I mean, that's where the match score comes in, too. You really want to be... Any series you lose, you're really going to hope those are 1-2 and not 0-3.
And you're going to